Well, we're thinking of a whole variety of options for how you could do better at authentication. So you can start with nearer-term things like tokens or fobs that might have NFC or Bluetooth embedded in them. But you can also think about a means of authentication that you could simply wear on your skin every day for a week at a time, say an electronic tattoo. Now, we're talking about wearables. Everybody's interested in I'm profoundly interested in wearables. And what I will tell you is that there are we've made a lot of advances in wearables, but there's still some fundamental problems that we haven't solved. Like one of them is the mechanical mismatch between humans and electronics, right? So electronics are boxy and rigid, humans are curvy and soft. That's a mechanical mismatch problem. Well, a researcher at the University of Illinois, his name is Dr. Rogers, what he discovered is that he could use standard CMOS techniques to make islands of high-performance silicon connected by accordion-like structures that would allow it to stretch up to 200% and still be performing. And what he did is he founded a company, and they started making electronic tattoos. So I'm wearing one here on my arm.
Do we have a camera to get a...
This is a developmental system made by MC10, and it has an antenna and some sensors embedded in it. And what we plan to do is work with them to advance a tattoo that could be used for authentication. Now, it may be true that 10 to 20-year-olds don't want to wear a watch on their wrist, but you can be sure that they'll be far more interested in wearing an electronic tattoo, if only to piss off their parents. Right?
And that can have a design, right? Because
sure.
They would certainly want some kind of cool design.
Options,
right?
Options. And that's something that...
Hello, everybody out there. This is an in-context study. And today it's over tattooing the temple of God. And basically, you know, I don't know what kind of, like, the Holy Ghost brought this to me. And I was reading in, like I said in the last video, Ezekiel 8, and it talked about inside the temple that there were drawings and all this other thing, and I was like, well, that's kind of like, you know, the temple and our body is the temple and tattooing and why it's not good. And then I watched that, you know, before I saw it a long time ago about the woman from DARPA who now works at Google, and about the computer, like, chip tattoo thing, right? And I thought, oh, see, everything is a foreshadow of the Old Testament, what's coming in the New, right? And it's about end-time prophecy, right? Because Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy. So I was like, man, I bet you that's one reason that God didn't want us to get tattoos or mark our bodies, is because it was leading up into this, right? What you see with Google and all them doing. Because also I've looked at how I believe that the mark of the beast will be threefold now. Like, some people won't go get, like, a chip in them, right? But some people might get this tattoo thing, okay? And then also some other people may get a card with the name and the number of the beast on it, okay? So, but it all has to do with technology and all that stuff, right? So I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, that's I bet you why. I mean, one reason that God didn't want the ancient Israelites to get tattoos was because the Egyptians, you know, would get tattoos paying homage to their gods, and God wanted them to not even look like, don't even have the appearance of evil of these heathen nations, right? Okay, so basically the tattooing, I believe now in Leviticus, here in Leviticus 19:28, ye shall not make any carving in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. So this right here, print any marks upon you, that's tattooing. And I believe now that the reason that he's saying that is because of what's going on now with these computer tattoos and these chips and all this stuff, okay? He was warning us way back then, okay, not to do this. All right, let's see. So that's a foreshadowing. So let's look in Ezekiel 8, 6 through 12. God didn't like the temple, and we are the temple of God now, right? Okay, we are the temple of God, and we shouldn't be tattooing it because of these things. God didn't even like the temple being drawn on, okay? And so we can see that in Ezekiel 8, let's see, 6 through 12.
Son of man, seest thou what they do? Even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary? But turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations.
And he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me,
Son of man, dig now in the wall.
And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me,
Go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do here.
So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things, and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel, portrayed upon the wall round about.
Okay, isn't that interesting? The beast, okay, tattooing the beast on you, okay, even on the temple itself in the sanctuary is not good to the Father.
And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel, and in the midst of them stood Jaazaniah the son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Then said he unto me,
Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark, every man in the chambers of his imagery? For they say,
Imagery, isn't that interesting?
They say, The Lord seeth us not, the Lord hath forsaken the earth.
Right? So everything that is going on here is drawing on the temple and tattooing it, basically. They're tattooing the sanctuary in the temple, and God was not pleased with that, right? Okay, let's see. Also, we know that our bodies are the temple of God now, okay? The third temple doesn't matter, really, because for Antichrist. But really, we are the temple of God, okay? And we can see that in 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20, which says this.
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own?
Amen.
For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's.
Right, which are God's. The Solomon's temple was God's. The tabernacle before that moved through the wilderness, the tent, that was of God, right? Our body now, temple, is of God, okay? For God, right? Okay, see your Solomon's temple, okay? And Herod's temple even, right? And then this is the third temple, which really is for Antichrist, not even for us, okay? Now, the abomination of desolation, like I've said before, I believe is twofold. It is this. It's where Antichrist will go in, but it's also our bodies itself, where the beast, computer system, technology, fallen angel technology wants to come in and take us over, okay? Right? So it's interesting, too, you have these two together, okay? Look at that. You got, you know, you got this Saturn satanic thing over here, and then you got this Jews synagogue of Satan over here. It's crazy. Okay, so Matthew 24, Jesus warns us about this when he says, Matthew 24:15, When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, which is us. We are now the holiest of holies because Jesus, God the Father, and the Holy Ghost are inside of us. Okay, we are the temple. Whoso readeth, let him understand it. Okay, so just tattooing this stuff on you is breaking your temple down. It's defiling your temple, and especially now that they have these computer tattoos. Okay, it was all foreshadowing and a warning from the Father. Okay. Also, we can see in its abomination, okay, what's going on with Google and these things that DARPA and tattooing and all these things want to do, it's an abomination to the Father, okay, and to our bodies and temples. 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 speaks about this. It says this.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Right? And just by this tattooing, think about this computer system, it could leak into your skin. So even though it seems like it's on the surface of you, it really would eventually come into you, right? Okay, so all this has been leading up to Satan and the beast computer in people controlling them, okay? So all of this type of stuff. Like, just crazy the way people even just tattoo it just with ink now like this, but it's all been leading up. The reason the Father said, don't get any marks or printing upon you is because he knew it would lead up to this in these end times, right? He talks about in Isaiah that he makes the the beginning in the past and the past in the beginning and all that, right? Okay, so that's what he's saying here. He's telling them back in ancient Israel, don't do this because in the end times people will eventually get these type of tattoos, which aren't good. Okay, all right. I hope that made sense. Thank you guys. We can watch for Yeshua. God is love, and I love God. Amen.
Feed my lambs. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus saith unto him, Feed my sheep.